Chapter 12. Alex, Lydia, and Blessing soon joined them, and Gus urged Luke and Neil to start their story from 9 o'clock last night. "We took your advice, Alex," said Luke, "and parked in Manver Street car park. Then we found the alley leading to Nick's without mishap." "Not the brightest lighting I've ever seen," said Neil. "I was glad Luke came with me." "Once we got inside, it was obvious Friday nights are one of their busiest nights of the week," said Luke. "We went to the bar. A young girl called Sophie served us, and an older woman smiled and nodded in my direction." "Phoebe Sawyer," said Alex. "Even in plain clothes, you two look like detectives when we have a night out at the Wagon and Horses." "I looked for a spare table," said Neil, "but apart from one on the far side, there was nothing, so we stood at the side and waited." "Graham and Jerry arrived at 9 o'clock, said Luke. "Sophie was preparing their drinks before they reached the bar." "You recognized them?" asked Blessing. "Only because of the wigs," said Luke. "It wasn't their first rodeo, Blessing, so looking good in a dress and heels is something they've perfected. Unfortunately, their budget doesn't stretch to the finest hairpieces. Anyway, they weren't why we were at Nick's. We wanted to learn what they remembered of Danute, and whether they knew Laura." "As Jerry paid Sophie for the drinks, Phoebe had a quiet word with Graham and pointed us out," said Neil. "Graham came over and introduced himself as Gloria, and invited us to join him and Jane at their table." "The only spare table in the seating area," said Luke. "Everyone knows to stay clear on Fridays because that's their spot." "Jane joined us, and we started chatting," said Neil. "I told them we were on the trail of Danute's killer. Gloria and Jane were in tune with everyone else you've spoken to. They adored Danute, thought she was a lovely girl, and were heartbroken when Phoebe broke the news 4 years ago. They hadn't seen or heard from her after she left Nick's." "When I asked about Laura," said Luke, "they knew who I meant straight away. Laura Boyd works in a hotel in Queen's Square, a 10-minute walk away. Laura often dropped into Nick's out of uniform."